Solution by factorization. You just took a test on factorization, which is the process of putting brackets back. We just learned about null factor law on Friday, which allowed you to solve quadratic equations that have been factorized and equal 0. So if we combine these ideas, it gives us a new method of solving equations by factorizing. So you may not need all of this, okay? Because half of this is reminding you the 4 different ways I showed you of factorizing. But these are the steps. If not already, rearrange so the right-hand side is equal to 0. Step 2 is you just factorize it with whatever way is going to work. If I remind you, common factors was the first method of factorization. Difference between 2 squares was the second. Perfect squares was third. Sum and product was fourth. So step 3 is where we combine Friday's work with factorization. You use null factor law once you've factorized the equation to find x. What was null factor law? If a times by b equals 0, then a could be 0 or b could also be 0. Do you need headphones to block out the sound just to try some of this? Or would you like earplugs to block this out? No? Just see what you can answer, and you've still got another lesson. So those are the steps to solve by factorization. Give you a few minutes to get that down. Do you need a calculator? Would you like a?
No. Well, actually, yes.
Yeah. Just remember, these cheaper ones don't do negative numbers for you. You have to deal with those yourself. Were you able to watch this stuff on Friday because you're away? Well, you'll see what this null factor law means anyway. It's just the idea. I said, while these guys are copying, I gave them a question. If I know 2 times by a equals 0, what must a be?
0.
Yes. If b times by 5 is equal to 0, what must b be?
0.
If I know a times by b equals 0, what could a be?
0.
What could b be?
0.
What could both of them be?
0.
Good. So that's called the null factor law, and we use that to solve quadratic equations because, let's say if I had something like this, x plus 3, x take 2, if I knew that was 0, right? You're like, what are you on, Mr. T? That doesn't look anything like null factor law. Yes, it does. It's got this grouped, that's A, this grouped, that's B. So according to null factor law, x plus 3 could be 0, or x take 2 could be 0. And so the left one is going to be x is equal to negative 3, and the right one, or x is equal to positive 2. So what makes quadratics difficult is the multiple possible solution. All right, I'll scroll it down so that we can see an example. X squared is equal to 7x. Does that currently equal 0? Could I rearrange it to equal 0? What would I do? What's the opposite of positive 7x on the right-hand side? So it's going to be x squared minus 7x.
Oh wait, never mind. I'm just being dumb.
That's fine. Get it out of your system now so it doesn't happen during assessment time. X squared takes 7x. So step 1 was make it equal 0. We've done that. Which of the factorizations can I do here? What order did I give them in? Common factors, difference of two squares, perfect squares, sum and product rule. Which factorization is going to work here? Any idea? Common? What's common in both? X. Where does the common factor go? On the outside of a set of brackets. What goes inside? X, take away 7, equals 0. Why is that helpful? Because that's null factor law. I have something times by something else is equal to 0. So what could x be? X could equal 0, or x takes 7 could equal 0. I'm done this side. That option's done. There's no more I can do. Is there more I can do with this though? I don't want to know what x takes 7 is. I want to know what x is. So what's the opposite of taking 7 from something? Adding 7. So your two options here is going to be x equals 0 or x equals 7. And if you've got time, if you wanted to double check or flex on people, you can plug these in. If x is equal to 0 and I put it here, 0 times by anything, it's going to equal 0. True statement. If x was equal to 7, if I plug that in here, 7 take 7 is 0. 0 times by anything is equal to 0. You're showing yourself that both solutions work. Okay? Second one. Does b currently equal 0? How do I make it equal 0? Someone other than you. Someone else. Plus 8.
Minus 8.
X squared plus 2x minus 8 equals 0. Is common factors going to work? No, because 8 doesn't have an x in it. Is it difference between two squares? That's a square number. None of these are square numbers. Also, there's 3 terms. Difference between two squares? No. Is it a perfect square? That's not a square number. That's not going to work. Do we have sum and product rule for factorization? What are the factors of 8? 1 and 8. What else? 2 and 4. Which combo of these factors am I going to need to add together to get positive 2? Yes?
4 minus 2.
Yes, well done. So what's your A? Your A is negative 2. Your B is 4. So if I factorize that, it's going to be x take 2. X plus 4 equals 0. What is the point of factorization? Because that's null factor law now. Something times by something else equals 0. Therefore, either or could equal 0. So either x take 2 could equal 0, or x plus 4 could equal 0. Am I done yet? I need to make x by itself, right? So x take 2, opposite of that is positive 2, or x equals negative 4. That's solving by factorizing, okay? So your homework, I'm going to leave that up, but I'll copy the homework up. Your homework is meant to be this, but can you just give me time to check why I asked the year 10s from last year not to do 5 ADG and 6 ADG? For now, just do 1 ACEGI, 2 ADGJ, that. I just need to work out why I asked them not to do that. Let me see if there was a reason for me to do that. Okay, I'll stop the video.